guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about Olivia Jade coming back to YouTube. And the reason this case is interesting to me is because we can say, I think we can all agree, that shit hit the fan there. Between the bribery, getting into USC not deserving it, not having the high enough grades, going to college to just experience the parties, shit hit the fan. The thing that's interesting though is, will she be essentially uncanceled? You guys know I don't really believe in cancel culture. I believe in holding people accountable, and I believe that for the most part, people can be redeemable. Of course, there are exceptions to that, like pedophiles. But anyway, Olivia made a video where she came back to YouTube, and I kind of want to talk about it because it wasn't great. Before we get into this video, as you know, content like this is often demonetized, so I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Adam & Eve. Adam & Eve is America's favorite adult store. Not only does it come with discreet packaging, but they also donate 20% of their profit to help fight the spread of HIV around the world. They also have a 24/7 customer service and have 90-day no-hassle returns. If you go to adamandeve.com and use code GLARE, you'll get 50% off one item and free shipping in the US and Canada. Thank you, Adam & Eve, for sponsoring this video. So, the video that she posted on YouTube is very brief, and it's what I would refer to as a non-video, as in a video where you're saying a whole lot of nothing, so there was no point to make the video. I might put in a couple clips, but essentially the gist of her video is, a lot is going on, I can't talk about it, but I want to come back.
And as much as I wish I could talk about all of this, it's really hard for me to say this just because I know that it's something that needs to be addressed. It's just, unfortunately, which is also why I didn't know exactly when I should come back to YouTube, but the reason for that is just because I'm legally not allowed to speak on anything going on right now. Didn't know. I debated for like 7 or 8 months, like, well, if I can't talk about it, is there a point in coming back and not being able to say anything? I want to come back because I want to come back.
Ideally, in my point of view, if you're gonna come back from a scandal, you can't just pretend nothing happened. And I'm not saying she's doing that, but to say, oh, I can't talk about it, I'm not saying it's a lie, but at the same time, if you can't talk about it and you can't give us your point of view, why should anyone be inclined to give you a second chance? Does that make sense? In the same way, if I were involved in a scandal, I get canceled. When I come back, I can't just be like, I want to come back, but I can't talk about it. And I'm sure there are legal reasons why she can't talk about it, but at the same time, maybe then wait till when you can explain yourself, because I think it's hard to move past something if you can't talk about it, but we all know it happened and we're all just looking at each other like, okay, so, you know, what the fuck? It's complicated, and I can understand that it's not as easy as just talking about it, but at the same time, maybe wait until you can. So as of when I'm filming this video, her video has 5 million views, 126,000 likes, and 137,000 dislikes. Very interesting. A big part of what makes it harder for people to forgive Olivia is the fact that a while ago, when I made my last video about her, I believe it was August, she had a picture of herself flipping off a bunch of different magazines. I'll put the screenshot here. So that doesn't exactly read as someone who you want to feel empathetic for, if that makes sense. Now, I'm sure the magazines were entirely brutal. I'm sure she got a shit ton of hate. Was it deserved? You guys can decide that for yourselves. I definitely think like this whole thing was mismanaged from the beginning, because people have found that her and her sister were involved. They weren't completely in the dark. For crying out loud, they posed as if they were crew rowing people when they're not. So it's like, we know something's amiss. So to act like you are completely innocent, by definition, is not a good idea. But anyway, there's an article here. This title is so bizarre, I'm so sorry. Lori Loughlin is proud of Olivia Jade's cleavage and puppies return to social media. The disgraced actress reportedly gave her blessing for her daughter to return to social media, which has so far included bedroom selfies and a talk about her feelings. Do I really want to be that mean? Well, yeah, you know, like Lori Loughlin, like nobody cares who you're proud of. Like, you bribed You bribed so your daughter could go to school. Like, what you think is appropriate or not, I'm sorry. I don't care. You're ethically and morally bankrupt. So you being proud or you not being proud, I'm gonna skip some parts of the article because some of them are so boring and just irrelevant, like describing her pictures on Instagram. Nobody cares. With these posts, it looks like Olivia Jade is back to stay, and her embattled mother, Lori Loughlin, couldn't be more proud that her daughter is brave enough to put herself out there, according to a report. Listen, I know crowds and audiences are scary and some are even toxic, agreed, but to champion someone as the image of courage after it seems like they actually were very aware that they were involved in a scam so they could get into university. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna say that they're brave. No, sir. Being brave is applying to university like everyone else, taking the L if you don't get in, going to community college maybe, and then transferring if you want to. But there is no bravery in what has been done so far, so I'm sorry, I'm not gonna say you're brave for posting a video on social media where a lot of your other famous friends are clapping for you because you're so brave that you got through this. Like, I'm sorry, no, there's nothing yet that makes me empathize, because if you made a video addressing why it is that you fucked up, and you realizing that you fucked up and that your parents fucked up as well, that's a different type of accountability. But just coming back and saying, I can't really talk about it, but I want to come back, and then posting a picture on Instagram. No, absolutely not. The former Full House actress understands that her 20-year-old daughter faces a lot of hostility because she and her husband were indicted on fraud, bribery, and money laundering charges and face long prison sentences for their alleged roles in the college admissions scandal. Still, Lori is incredibly proud of Olivia for making the decision to return to YouTube despite everything that's going on right now. She gave Olivia her full blessing. Certainly, Olivia Jade's return to social media after 9 months of a self-imposed hiatus has provoked widespread backlash, with people condemning her for being in denial and showing no remorse over the allegations that her parents paid $500,000 in bribes to get her and her sister Isabella, 21, fraudulently admitted to the University of Southern California. Legal experts also say there's strong evidence that Olivia, Jade, and Isabella participated in the scheme, which involved them falsely purporting to be crew team athletes in their USC applications. Both sisters left USC after their parents' arrest and no longer enrolled at the Los Angeles College. Olivia Jade's first attempt at a comeback was a 2-minute video titled Hi Again, which she posted on Sunday. In a plaintive, raspy voice, she said she had really missed connecting with her nearly 2 million YouTube subscribers via her video about makeup, fashion, and her life as the daughter of a rich Hollywood TV star. While Olivia Jade said she couldn't talk much about the legal case against her parents, she very much wanted to talk about her feelings. Though I'm terrified to make this video and come back, I know I also want to start making smaller steps in the right direction. This is the best I can do, and I want to move on with my life, Olivia Jade said. It's hard because I'm not trying to make this about me or how I've been, because that's not the point of this. You guys can let me know in the comments if I'm being too harsh. I'm particularly frustrated by things like this because I have been through the process of applying to colleges, to universities. I know how heart-wrenching it is to be denied, to be rejected, to feel like you're a complete idiot and not worthy. I know that. All of my friends know that. So I think I take this a little bit more personally because I've been through it the right way, not the bribery way. To begin to take the steps in the right direction, you need to take accountability. You can't just say, legally I can't talk about it, and expect people to just kind of be like, that's enough, like that's okay. I understand there are legal reasons. I just wonder if it wouldn't be possible to say that she made a mistake at all, or to even voice any kind of regret. Like, if you're not talking about the legal shit and you're just voicing how you feel about what happened, if you feel guilty, if you feel embarrassed, if you feel stupid, I would 100% appreciate that more than someone saying, can't talk about it, but I wanted to come back. Because you want to move on, I'm sure you do, because who wouldn't? This is a shit show scandal that makes you look terrible, terrible. But at the same time, making the steps in the right direction, you kind of need to bite the bullet and admit the fuck up before you can go in the right direction. It's not just like silence and being away from social media for a couple months fixes everything, especially when the last time you were on social media, prior to these posts, you were flipping everyone off, essentially telling us to fuck ourselves. And I know it was directed at the media that was reporting on what was going on, but at the same time, they were reporting because your parents bribed. Like, your parents are criminals. You're not the only criminal, and they're not gonna stop reporting just because it's you. The same way that if I ended up being a criminal, I'm not gonna expect them not to report just because it's me. That's what magazines do. I have to say, one of the other things that really frustrates me about this, and I'm sorry, this is kind of turning into a rant, but this shit has me heated, is that there are people that I follow, that I'm gonna have to unfollow probably, people that I follow and generally respect as much as you can generally respect people you just see on Instagram, who are clapping, who are saying, go you, you're being so brave, congratulations on getting through all of this. And like I said, I'm sure it was a difficult time. However, the difficult time came out of something that you were aware of and were a part of. So as much as it was a difficult time, you did cause this yourself. So for other celebrities to be championing her as this fucking martyr who went through this horrible time for no cause of her own, not like she's guilty at all, it makes me sick to my stomach because they're just enabling this kind of behavior. And the thing that pisses me off doubly is you'll see these same celebrities, musicians, whoever, you know, enables Olivia Jade, you'll also see them posting about how corrupt Hollywood can be and posting all this political shit. And I'm like, you realize you're part of the problem, right? You're the ones who are forgiving this girl preemptively before she's even had the time to say, I'm fucking sorry for taking part in this. I'm sorry. You guys can let me know if I'm tripping, but I really feel like I'm hallucinating here because we've seen people get canceled for so much less. For so much less. You know, like even Jaclyn Hill's hairy lipsticks seem like less of a monumentally big deal compared to this. They're different, sure, but if Jaclyn Hill can get canceled, how is it that we're just gonna pretend like Olivia Jade is not guilty at all? Everyone on Twitter is about let's keep the same energy. I don't see that happening, bro. I really don't. All these celebrities backing her up, I don't see it. And it's just the level of hypocrisy drives me insane. It drives me insane. And mind you, maybe some of these celebrities have DM'd her, maybe some of them are on the same page as us, but they just won't say anything because it's convenient to be the friend of someone who is rich. I don't know. You guys can let me know what you think. I think there's still a lot to be proved in terms of her wanting to take the steps in the right direction, which would start by taking accountability, just even by saying, I regret how things went down, for example. Just anything of the sort. But you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you to my patrons as always, and let's get right into the fan art.